I was told yesterday that they filmed a TikTok that somehow devolved into one of the actors seeming like they're eating out another actor who's explaining the show. And then the other actor pops up and says, Alan Cumming, come see our show. So I don't know how that happened, but like I'm so in love with these people.
I love
um,
the double meanings, especially with Alan Cummings and
yeah,
and
exactly.
right now, just Alan Cummings in general. He's the it guy with
I
the
know.
Traitor and Nightcrawler, X-Men, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, God, he's so good. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching him since like 2000 stuff, and I'm sure there was so much before that. But enough about Alan Cumming. I'm getting distracted.
Nerd Reactor, roll out.
Brit, it's
Yeah.
it's been a hot minute.
I know. Oh my gosh. Like it's almost been a year, I feel like, since I first told you about the concept of this and we got drinks and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and now it's like this is it, Passion Mansion, and then everything. Britt, you have been in this immersive and interactive theater space, and just creating a lot of just fun projects. And now this is like a new thing, and I guess it could be daunting and challenging. But I want to hear just let's start from the beginning, like just in terms of the creative process, being an artist, being an actor. How did it all start?
Oh, really? Like just like my personal story?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me tell you all about it. So I got into the arts while I was in high school. At that time, a lot of things happened at once. It was like my sophomore year of high school. I started doing speech and debate, and I performed in acting competitions and fell in love with acting there. Started doing some plays, but at the same time, I went to this special magnet school called the Center for Research, Engineering, Science, and Technology, CREST. And I was in the biotechnology program, and I got an internship at a neuro-oncology, a brain cancer laboratory where I studied the ketogenic diet and its curative powers for cancer. And then one day when I was working at the lab, I got a call that my dad died when I was
Oh.
16. And I was like, life is too short not to be doing the things that I really love. And I, it all just clicked for me that that was the performing arts and it wasn't science. And so I did a total shift, uh, graduated top of my class at that school, and then told everyone, peace out, I'm going to USC and I'm going to study theater there. And it was the only school that I applied to for the arts. I applied to science everywhere else because I am have always been a really like ambitious person who really wants to make it and also grew up very like very poor with my mom who's an immigrant from the Philippines raising me by herself. So my dream has always been to, buy my mom a house someday and have her be near me because she's over in Arizona and just to live a better life together. Now, how do you do that while pursuing the arts? I'm still figuring that out. But I got into USC and like hardly could afford it, but then got almost a full ride scholarship. And I went and was like, I'm gonna fucking pursue my dream. And that was in 2017. Went to USC and fell in love with the arts even more, started directing. Uh, and then my last year before the pandemic hit, which was while I was in school, I graduated with my class in masks. Um, we I found this show called Ascend, which was made by a bunch of the immersive theater makers that I work with often. And I fell in love with this show that was a choose your own adventure. It had so many different characters. I think the audience was huge, like 100 people. And I just was amazed by it because I love video games, role-playing games, and I uh, found that it was a combination between RPGs and theater. And I was like, this is perfect for me. And it melded my science background and my theater background because I learned coding at that school. And the way that I write my shows now, it's all coding. It's if-then statements. Uh, and it's awesome. Like I really feel like it scratches all of those parts of my brain. And so I found Last Call Theater, which is how you know me, where I auditioned for Abandoned, which is the first show that you saw me in. And I played a cult leader and just loved that. And
Yes.
yeah, to be honest, I also didn't know that I was going to be writing the quests for that show, my own quests, and until I was in the first day of rehearsal. But like, thank goodness, because I learned how to do this now. And it really was a like, I was thrown into the pool, sink or swim, and I was having fun swimming. So I continued to do that since 2022 for and I'm still working with Last Call, but last year I decided that I really wanted to create my own show and I wanted to do it on my own.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, right. I was just like, why not? Like, I am someone, like I said, I have always been super ambitious. So I've actually been like preparing for this, working with Last Call by just like doing different positions. I first was acting and I wrote in that one I mentioned, I but then I decided to assistant direct. And then I moved up to directing that pirate show, uh, The Pirates Wanted, which won an award by Stage Raw for best production. And
Can't beat being on a ship, you know?
yeah, yeah, on an actual pirate ship in San Pedro.
Yeah.
How can you not? And you know, there is some exciting news about that for the future that you'll hear about.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, right. But yeah, and then I also co-created The Harvest with Elena Scarinjpine. Uh, and that was like the first show that I had really like learned to create from scratch. But even that was Elena's concept and idea. It wasn't my own. Um, so for this project, I do love I come up with like ideas for shows all the time. And so I just write them down on my phone. And to be honest, a lot of them are like when I'm like high in bed at 4 a.m. But this one was when I was at a speed dating event, uh, hosted by Cherry Bomb and Soho House, 2 years ago. And I was looking around at all of these like cabana-esque style chairs a la Love Island. Like I just kept thinking about Love Island. And as I was on a date with someone, I was looking around and I was just like, what if someone died here? And that morbid thought transformed into the concept for this show that has like continued to become bigger and bigger by the second. Because the team is now at 40 people that I'm managing. But
So what's like, I
yeah.
want to know like, okay, this is 40 teams, and what's like the average team for like, let's say Last Call Theater?
Okay, yeah. So for Last Call Theater, I would say that it's probably more around like 20 to 30. It depends on how big the cast is. I mean,
So it just changes.
yeah, it does. But I would say for those shows, it's been like maybe 15 actors and then like up to 15 like writers and producers and designers. But I mean, feels like not even that. Like if you feel usually feels like the cast is like completely overpowering, or not overpowering, but just like bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this one, 40 people because not only do I not I didn't have the I didn't have like the resident team that Last Call had. I had to do a application for the writing team, and then I took some people from that application process and asked them to also be producers. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is becoming a lot. And then I have to start paying people. And so then I started my own entertainment company, What's Up BB LLC, which we now call Wub Media.
What
Uh,
media?
Wub Media, Wubba Wubba. And so just a few months ago, Riley Cole from Last Call Theater, who I met at USC and then really started to work with at Last Call Theater. We've been in love with each other for like the 3 years that we've been working together. I call them my life partner now because we do everything together. Like we have the same job outside of this. We we have the same friends. We just agree about a lot of things. We have a really similar backstory. And they joined me in running this company a few months ago, and now we're co-presidents together.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
then would you say this would be because there's 40 people that you mentioned, the biggest in terms of these interactive, immersive shows that you've ever been a part of?
Yes, it's somehow bigger than the pirate ship. It's somehow bigger, especially because for this, it's a multimedia show. So we have filmed moments that are a part of it, and we also have commercial spots built into the show so that we can find sponsors. A big thing that sets us apart from my previous work is that we are doing this for profit, because this team is a group of scrappy, emerging, talented, queer, trans, Black, Indigenous, people of color team. And I think we deserve money. I think we
Yeah.
deserve for this art to be a
Give me
lot
the
more.
money.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, because like, I mean, all of my work from here on is going to be about social empowerment. And I come from a lot of historically marginalized communities. And I think that our art deserves to be heard and seen. And right now in the immersive theater world, I'll be honest with you, John. I went to an event recently that was an immersive theater event, and I was one of like three people of color in a event of like 50 to 100 people. And I was like, this is so lonely. And it made me almost want to give up because it feels isolating. And it
When we
also,
say 100, do you mean
yeah,
like guests or
like
like the audiences?
audience and performers. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I well, and like I didn't get to see all audience, I'm sure. So maybe there were more. But even then, the people making it should be there. Yeah, should be more diverse, I think, in telling more diverse stories that are making an impact on the world. I can't stand art that people think doesn't have a meaning because no matter what, it always has a meaning, and you're just trying to avoid what that meaning is. Um, I I really want to yeah, I really want to make the world like a better place for people like me. And this choose your own adventure art empowers the audience to make choices. And I've realized that that's why I love it so much because when I was growing up, I didn't get to have choices. I didn't feel like I had choices. I was a child. I had to do a lot of like what people told me to do because if I didn't, because of my circumstances, I could have not survived. Um, and now I do get to make choices as an adult, and it's daunting. And it's honestly nice that we have these shows where I can kind of like simulate things. And uh, through video games like dating sims, I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to like uh, get people, like how to charm people, and also this storytelling. And so I want the audience to come to this show and probably at first be like, "Oh, I'm being made to make choices, and that's a little scary for me, and I don't know what to do." And learn this is a safe space, a brave space to say and do whatever you want. And if you get a little bit off the rails, we have a team here to help you get back on track.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
And I think like with like shows with a lot of choices, right? There are like some options. Like for example, Last Call has an option where you can be the observer. And so
Mhm.
for this, would it be the same concept, or are you encouraging everybody to make choices and be an active participant?
We're definitely encouraging people to be an active participant. I mean, we want it to be accessible. So, if you have some reason as to why you don't want to interact, that's totally okay. But I mean, I think the goal is by the midpoint of the show where we have a big twist for you to care so much about what's happening that you rip off your mask and you go, I need to be a part of this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I have a friend that hates being a participant. It's like, come on, dude, just get in there, be part of it, try to interact, especially with the with the interactive part of immersive theater, and with this, because you've done all types of genres, like whether it's like the pirate stuff, and then there's the cult stuff and sci-fi, and so this one's there's like the love aspect, like it feels modern, and
Mhm.
so what is it about this one you're like, you know what, I want to focus on this as my project?
Right. I mean, okay. Well, I'm in love with reality TV. Now we're in a love-hate relationship, especially now that I've like learned more about it through this show. But in 2020, during the pandemic lockdown, I was living with my girlfriend at that time, and we were kind of feeling like really stuck together. We got a cat to try to save the relationship, and we
Yeah.
just started binging so much reality TV, which I had never done before. It never really interested me, but there was just something about this reality that I was watching that felt so much more comforting than my own at that time. And I think it's continuing to be that kind of tool for people. And so I created the show, to be honest, kind of to capitalize on on the craze right now, but also because I'm realizing that I think that this tool that we use for escaping reality has its own corruptions behind the scenes. And so, uh, can you really escape reality? And that's my question for everyone when
Hmm.
you come see the show.
No.
Um, so you have to be able to, with that, this had to be contemporary so that people can make that relation there. And in fact, it's a parody of our own world. It's very similar, but with differences like uh, we don't want to say Netflix is the circle. We don't want to reference shows, actual reality TV shows for copyright reasons. But also because we want to be able to kind of make jokes and play with it. So we'll say, oh, it's the square. And
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah.
in this world, now all of our actors, they can whisper to each other, okay, we're calling the circle the square, calling the circle the square. And then, all right, it's just canon now in our world. And we keep doing that where we just keep coming with funny parody concepts for shows, but also just random new shows. Because honestly, like it's not even that far off. I was just reading a few days ago on Instagram about how there's a new reality TV show where guys compete to jack off. I I don't know.
That sounds like an
Sounds like a good watch.
April Fool's joke.
Yeah, it's a little bit late.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm someone who loves love and romance relationships and of course sex. And this show, it's just wacky, insane, and the cast is wacky, insane, and very queer. It's my first time working on something where we have queer actors, and also I would say people, artists of color who are playing roles that people would probably expect white people to play and for straight people to play. And the characters themselves are a lot of them straight as well. But are they? You'll have to come to the
It's like me watching because right now I'm watching Hell of a Boss, and so I'm
show.
like it is because that's a
Love.
queer show too, and
Yeah.
it's like it's the rise, right? It's like making people feel seen and heard, like, and that's like that's kind of like the main thing is like these groups of people trying to assassinate people. So, but that's just like their identity. So it's cool that like, this is part of the conversation now, and so with Passion Mansion, so I really I like that. Like, I appreciate that, and so with this interactive for people that don't know, right? Like they
Yeah.
think of immersive interactive, like what is it until you actually do it and then you actually it's like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like it's like you're there, you're part of the show compared to just watching a like a stage musical where you're an audience member and that's it.
Hmm.
These things for me, I like them. The same reason why you like them. It's like it feels like a video game, but you're in it and you get to interact with the characters and you really feel immersed. And so I was wondering for you, like what would be like the best way to describe this, other than to say you gotta be there and see it for yourself.
Right, right. You are the protagonist in this story, and all of the characters that you meet give you different tasks to do in order to progress the story. But those different tasks involve making interactive choices, not just binary choices of yes or no, but uh, for our shows, we have kind of like an infinite possibility where you can say anything and an actor will take what you say and pick it up and improvise something for you. But also games and puzzles. So for this show, you're playing a production assistant on set of a fictional reality TV show, and you are given this job by the producers who are characters in the show, and you have to play or you have to manipulate the contestants uh, in order to do your job. But then there are consequences because of that. For this show, we actually try to make it a lot more easy to consume at first, in that we have a mix of proscenium scenes and non-proscenium. So you start out sitting in like a live studio audience as if you're about to watch a show. And then you're told, "What are you doing? Stand up. You've got a job." And so we really try to ease you into the interactive elements at first. And we have a lot of things in this show that haven't been in my previous shows for accessibility, like um, there are going to be signs around telling you how do you play the show, and you're also given a clipboard that gives you a map of the set for the show, where you can find each of the characters usually, and also the schedule of the show as if it's a production schedule, so that you're able to keep your own time and know that, oh, I need to finish this up, what we call quest up, uh, within 20 minutes, because there's this scene that's about to start, you knowing it's a scene, but in the world of the show, they're about to film another scene for the actual in-world show. So there's a lot of meta stuff there. And honestly, I feel like I started complicating things the more that I explained to you.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
like
so hard
you're
for this not to be
what?
convoluted when you talk about it. But yeah, audience plays the protagonist of the story, and they get to interact with characters, play games, and solve puzzles to progress the story with multiple endings based on their choices. Boom.
Yeah, yeah, the way you start it, it's like you ease them in, and then that's when you start reeling them in. Like it gets deeper and deeper,
Yeah.
and because I'm like usually yeah, there's like your when you talk about like the if and then, I'm like thinking behind the scenes like what would that be like just looking at like a chart. It's like
Yeah.
one of those like those what is it, Always Sunny in Philadelphia things with the board.
Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think of the L word chart. But yeah, for these shows, you know, let me brag about myself for a second, just because
go ahead.
I'm the person in this last call sphere slash like this choose your own adventure theater, who was like, we need to stop using just Google Drive for our scripts and having a bunch of documents in folders within folders and within folders. And we need to have one master document, almost like your Dungeon and Dragons guide, that tells you, here's an introduction to this show. How does it work for someone who's never directed or worked on this kind of choose your own adventure theater. Um, like different really technical details about the show. How is it structured? Uh, having character profiles for each actor so that they know everything about their character that the writers wanted them to know. And then they can fill in the blanks. And then uh, lists of quests and scenes. And then I do have like a visual chart in there of like what is the flow of the show. And then like a concluding statement about like how I want people to put this show on in the future. I really want there to be a long-term viability for this and for this show to be able to be done more and more in the future. This is just a workshop, so we're going to be world premiering it hopefully next year in an actual mansion, the Passion
Next
Mansion.
year, so long.
Yes, I know, I know. Well, I mean, once you see this show, you're gonna understand why we need it here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got like 5 leads on a mansion, and I'm actually inviting a bunch of them to previews, and I'm calling it an open house because really want people to fall in love with the show and be like, I want my mansion to be the
Oh
Passion.
hell yeah. So
Yeah.
you saying that it's going to be at a mansion? I'm already excited. Just the idea of just showing up and then the front door going inside like, oh, this is immersive theater.
Yeah, and I want it to be like at least a 6-hour event. It might end up being like a full
Six
day event.
hours.
Yeah, because I like you go to the mansion, there's so much to do, and this maybe in that world you don't have to rush so much. You can come with friends and you can be drinking, being by the pool, and get to kind of like party more with the contestants because you can in this show. There are actually drinking games in the show.
Okay, all
And
right.
we have a sponsor that I can't talk about yet, but is related to drinking. So if you get for your press package, you'll get a free drink or two
All
from
right.
us, and yeah, all that. So yeah, you get to play those games and party with us. And so imagine if you could do that in a mansion. I mean, it's like going on a little vacation for yourself, and you get to
Yeah.
really enter this world. And I was at one immersive show last year that was, I think, like a 9-hour event here in North Hollywood,
Oh,
where
wow.
to like go between theaters, and uh, there was a scene outside Jimmy John's where this person like was in a wheelchair, and then like all of these bones come out of a suitcase and was like, my bones, my porcelain bones. And then he like ran off out of the wheelchair. It was crazy. And I was like, I want to do something like this where the audience is like traveling around for the day and like getting drinks in between and things like that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
right. Just want you to like feel like you're in paradise for at least a little bit before, I don't know, the twist or whatever.
And I think with this, yeah, because you're it's like it's gonna be a night thing or a day thing. It's gonna
Mhm.
be in a mansion, and yeah, this is very ambitious, very big. And so I guess let's say those that want to go and uh, because I feel like pricing, right? Like pricing, the longer the hours, the bigger the
Right,
pricing.
the
So
world premiere
how do
for
you?
sure. I do want to have a discount code for that world premiere though for BIPOC, queer and trans and disabled people. I I was inspired by the gay astrology parties that I don't think are going on anymore. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but
No,
it,
I'm not.
there were these like monthly parties for queer people that was in the Hollywood area, and each party was themed around whatever the astrological season was. And then
Okay.
you can get in for free if it's your season, and also they had a discount for Black Indigenous people of color, queer and trans people, and people with disabilities. And I uh, loved that because again, like I want to make this form of theater as accessible as possible. And I think one of the biggest reasons why there aren't people like me um, getting involved with this more is because it's so expensive to put on and to watch. So how do you even get exposed to it? So
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, honestly, like I don't know. I was about to say something about like offering free tickets to people, and then I was like, don't do that. Don't do
It's like,
this.
no, no, no.
Don't do that in an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But it's like, yeah, very ambitious. And next year, Passion Mansion. So between now and then, what is that process like of getting ready? Because I know that you're there's the Kickstarter, right? And
we actually just canceled the Kickstarter.
oh no, all right, never mind.
You know why? Because as I'm like saying, or like as we're figuring out in this interview, like nobody can really get this show if you haven't seen this form of theater before. And so it's been really exciting to people, but also they're just like, what is it going to look like? And so we've decided, let's scrap the Kickstarter and let's make it so that people can see the show first, see the prototype, see this workshop, and then be like, I need to see this in the mansion, and let that be what funds us later on in the future. So now we're focusing on just selling out tickets, because as long as we do that, we'll break even and we're okay. So yeah, we're just focusing on pushing tickets right now, and we have a discount code right now as well. Type that was fast in that
Oh yeah.
discount code bar for $20 off.
Oh yeah. And I think
Yeah.
how about let's say between now and then, what can people expect like in terms of trailers, previews, like here's what we have now, here are the actors, and just more ways of just showing people like this is what it's going to be like if you're here at the Passion Mansion.
Yes. So we have an Instagram and a TikTok at urtv.passionmansion. And we also have on our ticketing page. I actually just did it last night. You can find our promo trailer on there, and a bunch of promo photos. Wub Media, my company, we actually did just acquire our own venue, the Boxy Studio in downtown LA. Um, and so we're taking over that company and the venue space. So we're not using it for this show, but it is a photography studio. And so we are able to do whatever marketing stuff we want there now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And we definitely have some shows to announce in the future that are going to be at that space. And also we're renting it out for anyone who wants to use it at a discounted rate. So yeah, but we're gonna have a lot of that kind of marketing content like coming in. You'll get to hear my story that I'm telling you now in those. Also, some funny date stories and just like how wacky this cast is. I was told yesterday that they filmed a TikTok that somehow devolved into one of the actors seeming like they're eating out another actor who's explaining the show. And then the other actor pops up and says, Alan Cumming, come see our show. So I don't know how that happened, but like I'm so in love with these people.
I love
um,
the double meanings, especially with Alan Cummings and
yeah, exactly.
and right now just Alan Cummings in general. He's the it guy with
I
the
know.
Traitor and Nightcrawler, X-Men, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, God, he's so good. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching him since like 2000 stuff, and I'm sure there was so much before that. But enough about Alan Cumming. I'm getting distracted.
But yeah, I think yeah, it's I think my last question I want to ask you is uh like this after this because you mentioned there's going to be other shows. So genres, what are the other genres you want to do?
Right. Well, first of all, we don't want to just do live interactive immersive shows. We do want to do straight plays as well, and also get into film once we find filmmakers who are interested in working with us consistently, and probably some kind of platform that none of us have like conceived in our brains yet, but is somehow going to be like the next thing. So uh, that second. Um, we really want to get more into drag shows, which is all I'll say there, because Riley, my business partner, is the person in charge of that one. So that's an exciting thing coming up. That is a choose your own adventure show.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so tempted to tell you now, but I won't. I won't.
Okay, okay, all right, all right.
Yeah,
We'll save
but
that for later.
yes, exactly. Definitely wanting to get into drama more, and wanting, and actually, so for this show, Your TV Passion Mansion, the Your TV, people keep thinking that's the like the in-world production company for the show, but it's actually it stands for Untitled Reality Television, which was just like the old placeholder title for this project. But we took it on as part of the title because one, we thought it was catchy, and two, I want this to be a series of reality TV immersive shows. So Passion Mansion is just one of those. But
Oh.
next up, I have a lead on a cruise ship who might be interested in working with me.
Ooh.
So it might be Passion Mansion on deck,
Yeah.
just so that you're a little bit still familiar with that Passion Mansion world. But then I would really love to do. This is when we get into the territory of like, you can't recreate this on a reality TV show. I want to have one where it's all fantasy characters, and not just like Dungeons and Dragons kind of fantasy characters, but also like supernatural characters. There's actually a little insight is that there's one character in this show who can actually see ghosts, and so that was like a little nod to that I want to have in the future. Um, so yeah, imagine if like vampires and werewolves and ghosts were on a reality TV show together. Also, like I want to explore AI. I would love to have one where like possibly there's at least one character who is an AI person that you have to like find amongst this cast of contestants on a dating show. And maybe even get outside of like dating shows and do more like Survivor-esque shows, which is so similar to our format already. Um, so yeah, would love to just continue putting on these shows because again, I love reality TV so much. There's just a lot here because those are simulated like social experiments, and so are our shows, except because
Yeah.
we're fictional, we can do a lot more.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Britt, I can't wait for this to come out and the future, all the future stuff that you have planned in store. And so I guess my anything you want to plug as we close this off.
Ooh. Uh, well, yes. First of all, buy tickets. We do have different packages as well. So, like I said, right now we have this early bird special, and you'll see at top of the ticketing page the discount code so that you can get $20 off any of our ticketing tiers. Then we have standard tickets, but then we also have some VIP packages, which I really suggest that you get because you get to have a more power in the show, especially so if you love the show and you see it once at the regular price, come see it again and become an executive producer of the show, meaning that you get to wear this badge when you come to set that signifies that you're an executive producer, and you have like a ton more power because instead of everyone looking to you as like a subordinate as production assistants are on set, they're like it's like the shittiest role, to becoming the top because you're in world the person who is paying everyone. And then at the next tier, you get to have a private scene with the actors before the show. And then at the next one, you get this free bag of goodies that includes like free drinks, but also some props that you can use to sway things and gain more power. So yeah, definitely look into that. Uh, and just keep updated. Follow our social media. And from there, you'll get to also see once we have web media stuff going, you'll get to follow our social media, and then you can see all of our future shows. Um, yeah, that's all I'll say there. I could promote so many more things, but right now Passion Mansion is where it's at. Oh,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. But if anyone wants to sponsor or invest in the show, we do have some packages. Like I said, we have built-in commercial spots. So definitely reach out to us for that, and we'll use that not only to pay the people on this project more, but if we have enough funds later on to fund that world premiere in the actual Passion Mansion.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
And Britt, yeah, it's a pleasure chatting with you. And yeah, can't wait for next year when it all everyone gets to embark on this crazy what is it, dating show adventure.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. I promised that you'd be my first interview, and you are. So,
Thank you so
special
much.
moment. Yeah, of course. We got the full circle
I
moment
know.
finally.